All right, guys, I'm real happy. I found a Glock for $3.99, and I'm going to tell you guys where I found it at. It was very surprising to me. I mean, really, a big surprise. But to get a good price on a very clean Glock is kind of rare. Every once in a while, I'll find a good price, but normally Glocks always hold a pretty high value. So when I seen this one for $3.99, I just had to get it. So this is a Glock 26. Not loaded, of course, right now. But this is a Glock 26 in 9mm. And I had wanted a Glock 26 again. I've had them in the past. And for whatever reason, I wanted a Gen 3. There's no particular reason why I can state to you why I wanted a Gen 3. And I'm not saying that the Gen 3s are in any way better than the Gen 4. I have Gen 4 Glocks that run, perfectly. But just for whatever reason, I wanted the old school like the other one I had, which was a Gen 3. So I did like I have done so many times in the past. I left the house to go to Fin, Feather, and Fur on Monday. And once again, I pull into an empty parking lot because I forgot, again, that Fin, Feather, and Fur is closed Mondays. So I'm like, I drove out here, Fin, Feather, and Fur's closed on Monday. So I'm just kind of sitting there in the lot for a second. I'm like, what an idiot. I know they close every Monday, but this is probably the fourth time that I've done that accidentally. So I said, you know what? I'll go to Gander Mountain, and I'll just go in there just to look at some guns and, look at some prices. And where I'm at, Gander Mountain's always pretty high priced on pretty much most things in there. So I go to Gander Mountain, and the first thing I go over to is the used gun case. So I walk over to the used gun case, and I start looking around, and I'm like, man, because even some of the used Glocks and stuff are pretty high. They had like a Glock 37. I don't really have any interest in that. But they had, they had that, and they had like a Glock 22, and I believe there was like $4.99. So over in the corner, they had this guy. And this was priced at $3.99. And I was like, whoa. I was like, it looks clean. It's a Gen 3, what I wanted. And I got to take a look at this. So, I wait for the guy to come over, and I say, hey, I want to look at this gun. So when he gets it out, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to take the slide off. Is that okay? He says, okay. And I, look at it like this, and I'm looking at everything internal, and I still see some of the copper lube in the corners of the gun, which means to me that it probably was fired, but it wasn't fired very much. It doesn't take a lot to burn that copper lube out when you fire it that's inside the gun. You can also buy the copper lube and re-put it in there, but for the most part, from what I've seen, the average individual doesn't buy the copper lube just to put it back in a Glock. It's not needed. It's not something you have to have. Glock does it. A Glock will. I guess they do it for in case if a Glock would be stored long term at a gun store. It's a little bit better lube to use. But on average, the individuals do not put the copper lube back in the Glocks. So it still had some of that in there. I don't know if you can see it, but that's in there. And everything was really clean. Show you down the barrel. Hopefully I got the light right where we can see this here. So I don't know if this is going to pick it up right, guys, but there we go. See the lands and grooves? See how it's just like a mirror in there? So I was like, well, I'll take it. No box and one mag, and that's okay. I got several 9mm magazines that'll work in this. That's not a big deal to me. And I do keep all my boxes with all my guns. I kind of wish that this did have its box with it, but it didn't, and that's okay. Now, the couple things the guy did to it, whoever had it, was for whatever reason, he kind of went crazy with the probably used a crayon or maybe nail polish, I don't know yet. But he did the magazine with the white lettering, and on the gun here, he did here and here with the white lettering. And the other thing he did was he put an extension on the mag, which that's cool. I don't have to have that on these, even though I have really big hands, but it's cool. You know, it doesn't matter to me. So, you know, it's got the standard sights on there. I would like to get some night sights for this. I'm not sure yet what I want to try for this. I'm not sure. XS Big Dot night sights always work great for me, but I also like the Trijicon HDs. But yeah, guys, here it is. Let me give you a close-up here. All right, guys, so let me know what you think. It looks pretty clean to me. Another thing I liked about this that I forgot to mention, it has the more of a flat black finish on the slide, not the textured finish, and I like the flat finish on the slides. Some guys like the textured style. That's just what I prefer. You know, one's not better over the other one. It's just what I prefer. So, as you can see, it's very clean. There's no gouges and scratches or anything like that on there that I could find anywhere. So for $3.99, I had to get it. You know, let me know if you guys have ever found a deal on a Glock like that. You know, just the polymer's really good. There's no marks, no nicks, no scratches that I can find anywhere. Yeah, he did put a slide plate cover on there, but that's fine. You know, the other, you know, if you want to go back to the standard, that's really cheap as well. That one's kind of cool. But, yeah, so there it is, guys. $3.99 on a Glock 26. Couldn't pass it up. And now I got another 26 back in the collection. All right, guys, I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you real soon. This is H4T, out.